maybe you're in this place where you're feeling broken or messed up and sad from not living up to your potential. You were born and you didn't know how to walk, and you did that. You did that with your own brain. Your mommy and daddy didn't teach you that. You didn't go to a gym to learn that. You didn't even meditate as a baby to learn to walk, and you did it on your own. And you did it once, and it can be done again. You just need an approach that is more based on neuroscience instead of, forcing you into do this exercise, to do that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Be Inspired with Sumile Bute, a place to be educated, enlightened, motivated, and most importantly, to be inspired. Today's episode focuses on breaking free from cycle of pain and the likes which hinder your business and sometimes affect your time with your family. My guest today is Shrutee Sharma. She focuses on healing pain through natural method called Feldenkrais. So Shrutee, thank you so much for being on this show today. I'm super happy to have you here. When we had our pre-interview, it was like, wow, as if we've known each other for a very long time. So it was quite interesting. So thank you. By the way, how's the weather there?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. We're starting to have some cold days, cold days, but the colors are beautiful. We have these beautiful fall colors around here.
Amazing.
Lovely.
So let's get the conversation started. So you tell me you work for Amazon based on my pre-engagement with you, and then from there you stop. Can you please explain that to me? Why do you stop working there, and before which you started your own side? Was it a side business or you just moved into it? Please explain.
No, yes, we had this conversation. You went to business school. We both did, and I went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. And I got a job at Amazon, and I was very happy with it. I loved it. And it was the time when I had my daughter, when my daughter was born. I thought I was taking a year sabbatical to just spend some time with my baby and also just take care of some aches and pains I was having. So that was the original intention to just do this as a year to enjoy my daughter. But actually, it just took a life of its own, right? Like we were talking, like you graduated from Harvard and you have this amazing job, and then COVID hit, and you started doing interviewing people. And for me, it was just less pleasant in that I was falling apart in my own body. I had this terrible wrist pain that I could not pick up my baby, my daughter, to nurse her. It hurt to operate a touch screen, my iPhone. and my right knee hurt so much that I had to elevate it for hours and ice it so that I could just get through my day.
So how do you now get to Feldenkrais method? So how the Feldenkrais method come into play? So was it when you were trying to find solution to your wrist pain or all that? So explain to me how you get started on that journey.
Yes. So, I did what a lot of people do. I, went to physical therapy, and I did that for a year, and I tried chiropractic for a year. And I even went to the hip, ankle, knee specialists, and all of the specialists. And as well-meaning as all of these practitioners were, what I got at best was just some temporary relief here and there. And most of all, I started to feel really broken in myself. I started to feel like everything was wrong with me, that I was messed up. And it was just a feeling of being very sad and helpless that I had to be this way at such a young age. I had a whole life ahead of me, and what was going to come to me from all of that. And after almost 3 years of being very miserable and pain, not being able to spend that precious time with my daughter, I found my mentor and my teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew from day one that that I was in the right place, that I felt the sense of being whole. Um, the stress of my pain had been taken away, but most importantly, I learned something about myself, that I could start taking care of my knee, my shoulder, in a way that I never had. And so that sense of empowerment for me was just something I craved and I never received in anything else.
Wow, that's so amazing. So you tell me about, when we started talking about your signature method of healing pain. So then I started surfing the web. I know you mentioned about the Feldenkrais method. Can you please educate me on that?
Yes, it's called the Feldenkrais Method. And what it is a modern and neuroscientific approach
Mm-hmm.
to helping a person heal from their pain. And so, in a sense, it is about restoring a person's physical integrity, but also their emotional dignity. And the reason that is so important, one may, is that in those days when I was going to physical therapy, or there's exercises that you can do, things that address your physical pain, or make you physically strong, but they don't help you become more grounded or calm, right? So you have
Hmm.
to go to the body shop to feel good in your body, and then you have to go to some other shop, let's say the meditation shop, to feel calm in grounded in yourself. So it feels like we're broken up into parts,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I'm on a mission to changing, is to not split us up into these parts.
So, talking about the you mentioned meditation and all. So, talking about meditation, yoga, and self-awareness, I know that is actually have a whole lot to do with our well-being and all that. So, what is the difference between your method with yoga, meditation? Could you please explain that to me too?
Yes, I actually have trained to be a yoga instructor, and I was a therapeutic instructor for years before I got into this work. And so I can speak from that. And I think the big difference is that we engage our people
Mm-hmm.
in a particular process such that it invites a person to come into a place of stillness, a place of quietness with oneself. And when you're able to be with yourself in this way, what it essentially is turning off your survival brain, because a lot of pain actually happens from us being in survival brain. We're operating from that survival brain, and so we can do exercises and we can get massages and all of that from that survival brain, but if we didn't turn the switch off, it doesn't go away. And
Mm-hmm.
so the process that in the Feldenkrais method I invite people into is to turn off the survival brain and to turn on the learning brain, which is our prefrontal cortex.
Right.
So, right. So when you switch on the learning brain, we're able to be with ourselves in a way that we can make subtle differences. So, for example, we can make the difference between what it feels like to move in a way that feels delicious and free and no pain. And on the other hand, there is a way of moving that is habitual, that we've been used to, but it's giving us pain. Does that make
Uh,
sense?
Yeah, so does it mean that it has everything to do with your thoughts, your mindset? How you kind of switch from thinking negative to start thinking something positive. Does it have, because I'm sure you mentioned like a frontal lobe and all that, and then does
Yes.
it have something to do with switching from negative thoughts to positive thoughts?
I'm so glad you asked this question. This is the key advantage or the benefit of the work is that it's not it's not about talking as much, but it's we explore body movements. We use body movements as a way to access that learning brain, that prefrontal cortex, so that you know how a lot of body movements methods you do some movements and you think that you're going to feel better, you hope you'll feel better, right? But here it's the body movement is just a way of guiding your attention. You're doing
Hmm.
some gentle what looks like some gentle movement, but what it really is that I'm guiding your attention to different parts of yourself in such a way that something that was previously impossible becomes possible. So,
Oh,
like
is that,
Wunmei,
does
you
that
might have,
mean, sorry to interrupt, does that mean like mindfulness?
yeah.
I know that
So,
mindfulness, meditation, because I started
right.
meditating like, let's say about 7 months ago. I started meditating. So I realized that
Yeah.
when I'm feeling some pain, right, I just have to calm myself down, meditate, and then focus my attention on, I'm sure you're aware of all this numbing all your body while you meditate. I'm just trying to understand what you just mentioned about attention. Is it the same way, the process, is it the same way of meditation and the mindfulness?
Yeah, so a lot of in mindfulness, you're usually moving your mind, but not your body, as in
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting down and you're using visualization or focusing on something with your mind. And here, what you're doing is you're being guided into a body movement. You're
Mm-hmm.
lifting your arm or you're rolling, you're exploring some movement, which is either you're
Oh,
lying on the floor or you're sitting or
oh,
standing, but your attention
oh,
is being guided specifically to how to move in different parts of how different parts of you might be involved. So in the process you become more grounded and you learn to receive support from the surface that you're on, and the
oh.
process itself makes you so that, so for example one may you might say, oh Shruti, there is no way that I can touch my toe, my big toe, my foot to my mouth. There's no way I can even do that. Babies do that, Shruti, are you kidding me? I can't do that. Or you might have an idea, oh, I can't bend down and put my and touch my hands to the floor or my head to the floor. And I might guide you into a process that makes you playful and curious about yourself. And in the end,
Hmm.
you might be able to you'll be able to do what you thought was impossible. But the more important thing is that you're all of a sudden your mind, your brain expands to a sense of possibility for yourself that I got this, like I can do this. And
Wow.
that can be huge for someone in pain that has trouble being feeling independent and self-reliant. That feeling can be a huge transformation.
Oh, I totally agree with you because meditation is about using your mind and all. So the Feldenkrais method is both your mind and your body movement, which is the major. Oh, yeah, that is amazing. So a lot of organization, a lot of company promotes ergonomic, right? Sit properly, your body, your waist, your feet, then it seems to not be working for a lot of people because they still complain about knee pain, back pain, neck pain. Even me, sometimes I have back pain all because of my posture. Does it mean that this your method, your signature method, is going to eliminate that 100%?
That's such a good question. And so many people are sitting so much more. So it's so relevant. What happens is that posture is a dynamic interaction between you and your environment. And
Right.
a lot of discussion around posture tends to be skewed towards the environment, right? So it's about the right chair, the standing desk, or the sitting desk, or the yoga ball, or all these ergonomic tools around. And it's not to say that those tools aren't important, but they're only 50% of the whole dialogue. And what's often overlooked is your own ability. I think it's really important to hone your own ability to receive support from the surface you're on. Otherwise, you can have a very expensive $500 Armand Miller chair, and you can still be having the neck pain or the back pain if you don't know how to receive support from the chair. A lot of people, for example, tend to sit on the front of their sitting bones, in fact, even on their femur bones, which creates a lot of strain. A lot of women that come into my practice, they tend to sit, we're told as women to sit, be confident and look confident. And so we tend to like push our chest forward, and we like draw our shoulders back and try to fit into this artificial idea of what good posture is like, which nobody can sustain, by the way, right? Because we, at the first instant when nobody is watching, we just like go right back into what's comfortable. So what I was saying was that I see a lot that for neck pain and back pain that people are actually sitting way forward on their sitting bone. In fact, they're not even sitting on their sitting bone, they're sitting on the top of their leg bone, the femur bone. And that creates a lot of strain on the neck and the upper back. So what I'm saying is that if you invested in learning to move and find a way of sitting, then it's actually more likely that you will sit, you will arrive, you will get that good posture without trying very hard.
Oh, amazing. That's so great. So can you please explain your program to me? How does it work? Do you offer online, or is just strictly physical?
Yes, I have, what I do is called the Pain-Free Movement Academy. And it's a one-on-one mentorship program for high-achieving women that are held back by a debilitating pain, which could be a knee pain or back pain or shoulder, and on and on. And it has three components to it. So we have three milestones. The first milestone is learning to bring yourself to a place of embodied safety so that you can start to peel away the layers of pain one by one, and you can start to have this experience of freedom and not pain. And then the second milestone comes to around about 8 to 10 weeks into the program, when once the person is not in pain, they can now start to hone in their awareness of their habitual pain-causing patterns so that they can start to catch themselves. They can start to, let's say, a life stress happened and they started to regress back into their pain. They can watch, oh, I'm sliding back into that pain, and they can actually, they know what to do to address it. And then the final milestone is that they learn to develop a movement practice that they can own, that they want. So it's not about something that I tell them to do, or, it's not like an exercise program. They choose what, now that they're not in pain, what do they want? How do they want to explore, invest their time? So for example, I have a runner, a woman that is that runs a business, and she also likes to run. So, for example, now that she's not experiencing this back and upper back and neck pain, now she can. Her movement practice is like a practice before she goes out for a run. So instead of you mindlessly picking weights and doing some kind of random training, she actually does her movement practice, which allows her to explore what it's like to run with that bounciness, and how do I use my hip to power through my run instead of straining my upper back, for example.
Oh, interesting. So how long is your program? So if someone sign up now, that is someone that is actually feeling like, I know a lot of friends, a lot of people feel back pain, chest pain, joint pain too in general. So how long is your program? If someone sign up with your program, how long is it going to take before the person, start feeling good?
Actually, what I like to say is that a person, anybody coming into my practice, should never have to give me the benefit of doubt. They should have to trust me for a long time before they can get any relief. You should expect to see a change from day one with me. Now, it's not to say that if you've been in a lot of pain for decades, it's not to say that just in one time all your pain will be gone, but you will start to see the change, and that change can progress in a matter of few weeks. So what I've seen, for example, my program, it's customized for every person, but it's typically about 6 months, sometimes 4 months, and it takes just a few weeks to get a person out of pain. So, for example, for this one person that came to me with neck pain, in spite of their standing desk, going back to that, he was having this numbness on the left side of their face because of the nerve pain in the neck, and couldn't sleep at nights because of pain, and it was giving this person migraines. So we were able to get him through out of this pain in a matter of 4 weeks. In a matter of 4 weeks, he was no longer having the migraine, and he was able to sleep through the night. And then we worked through that last bit of that, there's this little bit of this creeping pain here and there. And then we transitioned into, okay, now that you're not in pain, but let's say, for example, for this person, this is a real situation that happened, that this person there was a product launch happening at their work, and they have twin boys, and so they were trying to sleep train them. And so in all that process, life happens, right? And it happens with all of us. And so this person started to regress back into their pain slightly, but they didn't have to go all the way down to the bottom of the hill with crying pain. This person he caught himself and told me, Shruti, I know how when I got on the call with him, I asked him, how are you? And he said, well, I had this thing happen and I started to feel this, but I watched myself. What was I sliding back into? And I did what you told me, and it's gone. I'm great. And that's what we want. We want people to be able to take care of themselves.
Oh, that's so great. It's so interesting. So funny that I haven't heard about this kind of program before. And it's good that the awareness is flooding in as expected, because a lot of people have found themselves on medication all through because of back pain. As strong as, some people Tylenol can't even cure their pain anymore. So they've already, it has already gone to the extent that they even use something stronger than Tylenol. But based on what you just explained, I could say that your program, your Feldenkrais method I think, is a long-lasting solution for people. However, do you have like free resources for people that really want to get themselves familiar with it before they could sign up?
Absolutely. You can actually, I have this really amazing 5-part masterclass, which a lot of it is done sitting. So, it's great for somebody wanting to sit comfortably without that back or neck pain, and also just feel good. It's just very delicious and luxurious. And you can go and get it at shruteesharma.com/gift.
Any final word? Because I can have you here for another 2 hours because I'm really enjoying you talking, and then
Thank you.
your face looks very good. Your face looks amazing, so I'm enjoying myself. So any final word for people who want to sign up, for people going through this pain right now? So anything you would like to say to them?
Yes, yes. I think what I really want to say is that if you are in that place where you are a high achieving woman, you want a lot out of your business, your career, and maybe you're in this place where you're feeling broken or messed up and sad from not living up to your potential. I'd say just take a moment to think that maybe you're just needing a different perspective on things, because it's possible. And I see that happen a lot with the people that come to me. They have all these medical diagnoses, like leg length discrepancies or torn meniscus or labral tear in their hip and this and that, and that can bring to you this feeling of feeling messed up and broken. But just consider that, you were a baby, you were born and you didn't know how to walk. And you did that. You did that with your own brain. Your mommy and daddy didn't teach you that. You didn't go to a gym to learn that. You didn't even meditate as a baby to learn to walk. And you did it on your own. And you did it once, and it can be done again. You just need an approach that is more based on neuroscience instead of forcing you into doing this and do this exercise and do that. So that's what I'd say, that there's a lot of possibility for you. You just step into it. Just step into it.
Okay, Shrutee. So is the program can be done online? Do I need to be physically available for me to sign up for the program?
That's the great thing about it, is that you can do it virtually. I do it with people for local people. I do it in my office, and there I use my touch in order to bring this change. And for people online, I work with Zoom like we are doing, and I guide them through the movement practice. And the beauty of it is that you don't even have to be staring at the screen all the time, because you just have to be able to hear me, and you can be lying on the floor and sitting and doing we do all kinds of fun things to get you moving and feeling that freedom.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure you grab a lot from my conversation with Shrutee. Remember, your health is your wealth. I'll see you next time on Be Inspired with Sammamish. Bye for now. Hey there, have you subscribed? Please remember to subscribe to this channel